Hello friends, I'm George, the nice smelling gentleman. Welcome back to the channel guys, I hope that all of you are doing well. Today I'm holding two of the very best Paris Corner fragrances that I have in my collection. When Soul Gets High and Veteran Oud. So, let's talk about them. I'm going to start this dual review video today by taking a look at the first fragrance, which is called When Soul Gets High. The fragrance comes packaged in this cylindrical shaped box, if you can call that a box, which is metal, and it kind of reminiscent to something like a Jean Paul Gaultier packaging, fragrance from that brand. The colors here are black with golden accents. On the front you got the name of the fragrance, the name of the line Emir, the concentration EDP, the bottle size 100 milliliters. On the top and on the back you get some additional Emir and Paris Corner branding, sticker of authenticity, and the production date, if anyone is interested, of this particular bottle is January of 2024. And once you take out the bottle, this is how the bottle looks. Now there are a few other fragrances in this very same line which share the bottle design. This one is completely blacked out, again golden accents. The cap is plastic on the inside, has metallic coating on the outside, has a pretty nice heft. It's somewhat of a snug fit, though I wouldn't recommend picking up the bottle through the cap because it's quite heavy. And on the side you got this tassel looking thing that's hanging around. I'm not a huge fan of this, but all around the packaging is actually very nice and has good quality. As you would expect from a fragrance that's coming out of the brand of Paris Corner, When Soul Gets High, it's actually a clone fragrance, and it's a clone of Kilian's Back to Black. But I'll talk about that in a second. First of all, a few words about the scent of this fragrance. If you're not familiar with the original scent, this is a almost perfectly unisex fragrance that's quite dark and quite complicated when it comes to the actual scent profile. It has a lot of things going on. First of all, let me show you the sprayer, which is very decent. And then onto the fragrance itself. First of all, this is a very sweet fragrance. Keep that in mind. You really need to like sweet fragrances, and especially honey based fragrances, in order to enjoy this fragrance, because this has a very strong, very prominent honey note, and pretty much the whole fragrance actually revolves around this honey note. In the opening you get some spices, you get quite a strong tobacco note with this one as well. On the dry down you get some patchouli, which also tends to be quite strong, and it comes off almost chocolatey, which adds even more to the sweetness of this fragrance. You get some ambery sweetness. On the dry down, this thing becomes a little bit powdery because of the tonka bean note that it uses. It's quite woody. All around, a very dark, very complex scent that's quite sweet, pretty much, pretty sophisticated, and definitely not safe for blind buying. I would strongly advise you to, if you're after a clone of Kilian's Back to Black, or if you're after this fragrance When Soul Gets High, definitely try to sample it first if it's possible, because this is definitely not for everybody. You need to like woody, very sweet fragrances with a strong tobacco note. Also, you need to like powderness in your scent in order to enjoy this fragrance. But to be honest, I was pleasantly surprised by the quality of the scent. Feels a little bit synthetic, especially in the opening up close, but after a few minutes that goes away, and you're left with this very sweet bomb of a fragrance that's heavy on the honey note. When it comes to how close this fragrance is to the original scent from Kilian, I would say this is very similar, especially in the air. It smells almost completely spot on compared to the original fragrance. Performance wise, this, at least on my skin, has turned out to be an absolute beast. I've been getting easily 10 hours of of longevity on my skin, with very loud projection in the first 2 to 3 hours. So pretty much a beastly performing fragrance. Price wise, this usually is priced at around about 25 to 30 euros here in Europe, which makes it a very good deal, and basically a fraction of the price of the original scent. And versatility wise, as I said, this is, to my nose, perfectly unisex, maybe even leaning a little bit to the feminine side. I know some people will say that it leans to the masculine side because of the strong tobacco note in here, but all around I think this is a perfectly unisex fragrance that's definitely a cold weather scent, and definitely a nighttime scent. And moving on to the second fragrance that I'm going to review in today's video, which is called Veteran Oud. Again, a black and golden color combination when it comes to the box design. On the front you got the name of the fragrance, the Pandora scents, the line, concentration, EDP, bottle size 100 milliliters, additional branding on the top and on the back, and the production date here again, if anyone is interested, is February of 2024. And then this is how the bottle looks. Again, pretty much the same color combination with nice gradient color inside here, or maybe that's the juice color. All around, what I like about both fragrances is actually that they're not cloning the the box and the presentation, the bottle design of the original scents that they have been inspired by. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is that Veteran Oud also has a metallic cap and a very nice quality cap itself. I'll show you the spray in action and then I'll talk about the scent profile of this thing. But first of all, I just wanted to mention something out. This fragrance is been heavily inspired by Stronger With You Oud from Armani. And it's a great clone. You get sort of a pressurized sprayer. It's really nice, and the fragrance itself is also very nice. Now, I'm a huge fan of the Stronger With You line, and I also really like Stronger With You Oud, and this is probably my most favorite inspiration of Stronger With You Oud. The fragrance itself in here carries that very unmistakable, very recognizable Stronger With You DNA, with that very sweet scent profile that has lots of ambery and vanillic sweetness. In the opening you get a bit of aromatic properties because of a lavender note in here, a hint of freshness, but it's all about the sweetness and the mix of the two, very prominent sweet notes of vanilla and amber and the agar oud, like the original fragrance. This also has a hint of leather in it as well, which is a nice touch like the original has. It has a chestnut note again, which adds more warmth to the whole scent profile. All in all, it's really nicely done. One thing I really like about this fragrance is the quality of the agar oud note that's been used. I don't know if it's down to the actual quality of the note of the agar oud oil, or if it's down to the fact that it's not very prominent, but this feels a very nice, very designer level fragrance. And if I have smelled this fragrance without knowing who made it, I would have told you that this is a designer fragrance. So very enjoyable scent profile. When it comes to the closeness to the original fragrance, I would say very close, pretty much almost identical, let's say that. And I think this has a slightly toned down agar oud note compared to the original fragrance, which is a good thing in my opinion, because it makes it more wearable and mass appealing. Performance wise, now I've seen some people claim that this is a beastly performer. On my skin, unfortunately, it's not been a beast. I don't know, I don't know if I'm going nose blind to the scent or it's down to something else, but I've been getting decent performance, about 7.5 hours of performance, but definitely not super long lasting as some people claim. Projection wise, maybe a little bit on the softer side for about 1.5 hours, maybe up to 2 hours if you overspray a little bit. Price wise, again, pretty much like the other Paris Corner fragrance featured in today's video, roughly about 25 to 30 euros, which is a good deal in my opinion, because the original tends to be quite expensive and hard to find. And versatility wise, almost unisex fragrance, maybe leaning to the masculine side a little bit. Definitely a cold weather scent and definitely a nighttime scent. And at the end, a few final words about the two fragrances featured in today's video. As I said in the beginning of the video, in my opinion, those are two of the very best Paris Corner fragrances that you can actually get right now. When Soul Gets High is a very good clone of Back to Black from Kilian. A very strong fragrance, super long lasting, pretty much beast mode performing scent that gets very close to the original fragrance. And all around is a very interesting, dark and complicated scent that I really like a lot. Just keep in mind that this is not safe for blind buying. Definitely try to sample this one first before actually committing to a full blind bottle purchase. And if I have to mention just one con, that will be the slight synthetic vibe that I get out of it in the first 5 to 10 minutes. Other than that, really nice. And then Veteran Oud, again from Paris Corner. This at the current time is my most favorite clone of a Stronger With You Oud that I have in my collection. Super close to the original fragrance, very high quality of the scent itself, very enjoyable for those of you who like the Stronger With You DNA. Performance is decent, maybe not spectacular, but still very decent. Quality of the packaging is nice, price tag is competitive, all around a very nice scent. Again, my most favorite inspiration of Stronger With You Oud that I have in my collection. So guys, in today's video I reviewed two of the very best Paris Corner fragrances that you can get right now, in my humble opinion. When Soul Gets High and Veteran Oud. I hope that you found this video interesting or useful. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me in the next one. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.